When I was very little, there was a boy who teased my friend and then I broke his teeth. So I think just grown like that. The school WhatsApp group, there are only mothers. Where are these fathers? Are they off fighting a war? Where are they? My mother would keep saying, but why do you have to say what's on your head? Why can't you just be quiet? You know, who is interested in your truth?
Hello everyone and welcome to Midday.com. I'm Supriya Nair and today with me is one of the funniest, wittiest authors, columnists and most successful woman the city has seen. Welcome Mrs. Funny Bones Twinkle. Thank you so much for talking to us.
Every time people say that, and when I'm going on stage I want a hole to form somewhere and I go inside that because that's a lot of pressure.
I was just about to ask you because everyone I told that I'm going to interview Mrs. Twinkle Khanna and they were like, she's so funny and she's such a witty person and she's going to say something funny. And is there a pressure on you all the time?
I mean, there's pressure even while we're sitting there that the atmosphere is pushing down. I'm not sure whether it's 7 pounds or 7 kilos, but there's a lot of pressure. We don't feel it, we're used to it. I feel it sometimes, this whole thing that you have to be funny, but so far I've managed.
We've been hearing so much about Tweak and every celebrity is tweeting about it. So what exactly is Tweak and what prompted you to start it?
When I started writing and after a period of time I felt that there were a lot of women were reaching out to me once I had my books, and even when Padman was out, I felt that there was this gap. Either people were talking down to women, dumbing it down, or they were talking to them in a pedantic manner. But there wasn't any place that they could go which would be judgment-free, which would be fun and still give them something to stretch their brains a little bit. The easiest way to do this would have been to host a talk show like an Oprah, and I got a lot of offers to do that, a lot of money to do that as well. But my days in front of the camera, I think, are limited. I don't particularly like it. I don't particularly like even sitting here with this light and wondering, is my hair okay? I mean, those things give me anxiety. I'd rather just wear my track pants and come to work. So for me, this was the best way that I could do the same thing, but on my terms.
And how does Tweak aim to help women? What are the things that you're going to talk about?
I think everything in my life and every time that I have taken, a leap has been because I've been exposed to some ideas, whether I've read that or seen it. And what Tweak wants to do is challenge these old ideas, give you a bunch of new ideas to pick from and see if you want to adapt a little bit or if you want to incorporate those ideas into your own life, if you wish, and give you different perspectives. So Tweak doesn't just have my opinion. We have a wonderful team, and so it's the team's opinion, my opinion, we have contributors, their opinion, and we have expert opinion. So whether it is a doctor or a gynecologist, a dermatologist, a nutritionist, so you have what the experts say as well. So you have a three-pronged approach and then you can pick what you want to do.
So you've been extremely vocal about your views and you're a fearless role model. So is that a characteristic trait that you developed over the years or something that you picked up, when you were a child?
I think I've always been like this. When I was very little, I was in trouble in school because there was a boy who teased my friend and then I broke his teeth. So I think, and that was probably, in the 4th or 5th grade. And I've just grown like that. I've never had, maybe it was the way I was raised, but I've never felt the need to not be myself, though it got me into a lot of trouble. And I think even at some point, my mother would keep saying, but why do you have to say what's on your head? Why can't you just be quiet? Who is interested in your truth? And today I do feel that perhaps not telling people the truth is, I used to consider it very brave that I could always tell people the truth. Now I think that not telling them the truth is perhaps kindness.
That's one of the reasons why Tweak is here also.
Yeah, but again, it's non-judgmental. It's not telling you that this is the only way. It's showing you a spectrum.
These days there are people talking about so many things. There are so many stereotypes that exist in our society. So what do you think are the few tweaks that people need to make in their attitude and their thought process to change these stereotypes?
I think multiple things. One, I would say, is the way that we deal with mental health.
Right.
We are very happy to pay some trainer who will make us do 3 sets of dumbbells and say that, okay, fine, we've trained our bicep and that is important, we should pay for that. But if your thoughts are out of alignment, you will not go to somebody and say, I need some help to streamline this. There's a big shame in that. The other thing is the way, whatever said and done, even in a society that is progressive, a woman's role is still, if she is a working woman, then she's also working and looking after her kids and her house. And that balance is something that we still need to find. And a lot of people pretend that is not the situation, whereas it is the truth. even today, if I look at the WhatsApp group that the school WhatsApp group, there are only mothers. Where are these fathers? Are they off fighting a war? Where are they? So, what is so important that they're doing? And these women are also working women. It's not like they're sitting at home and making achar only, which is also fine. Even if you're making achar, you're busy, na? But still they find the time. So, I think a couple of things like that, we do definitely need to rectify.
What is the one tweak that you made in your life that has changed your life completely?
Many years ago, I think this was probably about 17 years ago, I started a yoga practice which had a lot of breathing and meditation. It took me 7 years. It wasn't something that happened all of a sudden. But after 7 years, I actually felt that my neural patterns had changed. From being somebody who was very pessimistic, I became an optimist. From someone who was afraid of change, I started welcoming change. And I think that was the most important tweak. But it took 7 years for that to set in.
If you could tweak one thing about your life, what would it be?
I would like to exercise my body as much as I try and exercise my mind. So I haven't found that balance yet.
So these days people are using a lot of millennial lingo, okay, like mansplaining and these mantrams and things like that. So do you use that in your daily life or are you like completely...
I don't think I'm cool enough, no. I'm just a little old-fashioned. I like nice, big words. Yeah, and also big words that are completely, that have been in our lexicon for years and are evocative. For me to just use like amaze, amaze I'll use in a sentence properly, but not just as a exclamation. So no, I'm not that cool.
So we have this rapid fire quiz for you where, we want to ask you, recommend one tweak for the following. Fad diets.
I stop, I would say, because eventually you're going to be a skeleton anyway. Why do you want to be a skeleton now?
Irrational body expectations.
Once you have kids, you realize how important your body is. So love your stretch marks, and it comes with time. I don't think you need to tweak it. Once you reach your 40s, you're very happy with this body.
Patriarchy.
It's ingrained, and we need to tweak that not only in men but within ourselves.
Inspiring women to break the glass ceiling.
How do we inspire women? Well, at this point, I feel that I'm banging my head against a brick wall. So I think a glass ceiling would be much easier.
Solo women holidays.
It's great fun. Going all by yourself or going with a bunch of girls.
All by yourself?
I've done that twice. It's an experience that you actually remember and relive rather than being in a cocoon when you travel with your family.
Recycling fashion.
It's a tricky one because fashion itself is based on, consuming and more consumption. So I don't know about that.
Sisters before misters?
My sister and I are definitely sisters before misters because we are still the Khanna sisters and will always be.
And women speaking out?
It's very easy to tell women you must speak out. But in order to speak out, you have to be financially independent because otherwise the consequences are too great. And secondly, you still then have to toe somebody else's line because they are paying for you in a way.
Thank you so much.
That was fun.